is 5 things that I think First Class Trouble needs adding to the game. In-game lobby chat. This feels like the most obvious one that needs adding into the game. At the moment, you wait for the game to start in silence, as long as you're using the proximity chat anyway. Having a lobby chat allows you to confirm that you're ready to go in, talk in general, and make sure everything's okay before starting. Syringe Protection. Okay, this isn't a permanent idea, only one per game, and it's a one-time use. Some people might not like this idea, but it adds another level of trust to the game. First of all, most players will use the syringe in private, so no one sees them inject. But if there is an injection antidote, then the player is saved from the syringe, they can try to find a fellow resident, and they'll try to plead their case to them. But it's up to the other players to trust them or not. Variety to round 1. Look, I don't know if it's just my group of friends who play, or if it's a wider opinion, but the first level was way too easy to get through. It's almost impossible to get the injection without narrowing it down to 2 players, and those 2 started in the room together. You generally can't get it later on in the game, as you find the keycards way too easy, and it's such a small area. Something needs to change at that level. Keycards could spawn in hidden spots in rooms, or an extra room or 2 upstairs. It just gives the chance for the players to get the injection, so it's actually used. Bigger lobbies. I'm not saying that lobbies need more players, but especially with the new update for custom games, where you can add extra personoids and extra rooms before you reach Kane. It would be good to raise the amount of players up to 8, maybe 10, and that especially helps if you've got a group of friends and some have to miss out every now and then. Still, keep the minimum as a 6, as that works, but allow for the option for random players, more friends into your games. Funnily enough, when coming up with the idea for this video, custom games wasn't actually announced, and this is actually an idea that was going to be on this list. Resident roles. It would be a big change that maybe other players wouldn't like, but why wouldn't some of these first class passengers be doctors or something? Add new roles that you can turn on or off depending on if you actually want to use them. If you have this enabled, you get a perk with your role that you can use during the game. To make it even riskier, personoids could potentially get this as well. For example, a doctor. That could allow a player to revive a dead player, without the risk of knowing if they're actually a personoid or a resident, but it brings the player back. And if a personoid got that role, then they could go and revive their fellow personoid. It also gives incentives for players to dispose of bodies after killing them to stop revives.